always on the go, but the day just won't be one without your Hollywood fix. Let Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast take care of that. An all-inclusive look of pop culture.
Hi guys, thank you for tuning into the GSMC Entertainment Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I am your host, Aseel. So guys, how is everyone doing? I actually missed you guys. It's been like a hot second. It's been a whole week without me doing segment. So I actually was a little bit sick last week. I got vaccinated, took my first vaccine shot. And, I had a little, I didn't feel good at all for a few days, but I'm here, I'm back, I'm feeling much better. It's actually 2 a.m. right now as I'm recording this, and I'm drinking my coffee. What's been new with me? I'll tell you what's been new. So recently, now actually, I'm fasting for the month of Ramadan. If you're unaware what Ramadan is, it is the 9th month in the Muslim lunar calendar. It's when Muslims fast from dawn until dusk. And yes, this means no drinking water, eating, doing immoral acts, and even being angry at the world. You focus on worshiping God, such as like whether it was through prayer or reading your holy book, and it's more for your spiritual self. It's a cleansing month where it's just like you focus, really, all Muslims really just focus on themselves. They give out to charity. They put themselves in other people's shoes. They think they're being very compassionate towards others, show empathy. That's why charity is a huge thing during this month. And, we fast for many reasons, and like I said, it's a cleansing month, so a lot of people take this opportunity to become better versions of themselves. That's why we abstain from food and drink, so we kind of like just focus on ourselves mentally and be there for ourselves. And it is the 5 pillars in our religion, and we kind of it's an obligation as well, so we can't really run away from it unless you have an excuse. And there's obviously there are excuses for you not to fast if you are ill or you're traveling, if you're a mom who's breastfeeding, or any of that, you don't have to fast. But if you're healthy and you can do it, then why not? So that's what I've been doing. So basically I start my fast at 4:45 a.m. That's why I'm having my coffee right now, so I don't have a headache tomorrow. And yes, this is my 3rd cup of coffee for the day. We fast for 10 plus hours. I actually don't even count. It hasn't been bad at all for me, so I'm very blessed. And it's very safe to do, and I think one of the funniest things that I get is the fact that people ask, like, not even water? Yes, no water, mint, gum, even smoking or anything of that sort. I feel like even at this point, it's been like a meme where people ask, like, not even water? Yes, guys, not even water. So yeah, that's what's been going on. So if you see like a, Muslim fasting or whatnot, go ahead and just like understand that it is a part of our religion, and we actually enjoy it. And there's a holiday that comes after it. So yeah, that's what's been up with me, guys. But I've actually missed doing this. I missed hosting with you guys. There's a lot that we're going to talk about in this episode, so stay tuned. So we will be talking about the Friends reunion, Brenda song, and Macaulay Culkin new baby together. And then we will also talk about the Kardashians. I mean, who else? Come on. I feel like all over social media, every time I go on Twitter or whatever social media platform I'm on, it's always the Kardashians. So stick around to the end because we're going to have a lot of Kardashian tea as well. Okay, so I kind of want to start off and talk about Friends because I was in Chicago 2 weeks ago and I went to the Friends Experience exhibit in Chicago and everyone just talks about it. So I was like, I have to go. Honestly, one of the main reasons why I went to Chicago is to go to the Friends packed rooms. So there is 12 rooms that remind you of the show, and each room obviously has its own scenes, and which includes like Monica's kitchen, the balcony. So it provides opportunities to explore the show's history as well, and recreate your favorite moments, and during that happened on the show. The first thing that happens when you walk in is you'll see the iconic Friends fountain. There are moments where like you'll see the letter that Rachel wrote to Ross, or you'll even see the purple door. You'll be able to take pictures there. You'll see the horse that Chandler and Joey had in their little apartment. The pivot scene, there's the infamous sofa. You could take pictures there. So you kind of get the whole vibe of Central Perk. If you watch the show, you'd kind of understand what I'm talking about. You'd see the whole Phoebe and the smelly cat scene. So it's all there. They provide you with all of that, which was a very fun experience. I do have to say with COVID, it was exhausting and a bit hectic. I feel like everyone was rushing you to get through each room fast, even though they tell you like, oh, take your time. But you kind of don't want to take your time because there's people waiting for you, and they literally allow so many people in one room. Even though each like group or each person goes by alone, but each room is next to each other, so you can't really take your sweet time doing this. But I mean, the experience overall was a 10 out of 10. It's really fun. The way they recreated each scene, it's 100% just like the show. You kind of get that vibe. So I mean, it's worth it. If you love the show, I think you'd love going there. It wasn't even that expensive either. It even has like a retail store that has exclusive products that, you could also purchase. And I feel like it was just really fun, and people, all the employees kept it fun. There was everyone wore a mask, and everyone would clean after, like there was a protocol, and you can tell there was a protocol. So, if you're worried about COVID, I totally understand. It's pretty hectic. It's pretty packed, but it's a nice experience. Just be careful, be safe, and practice, your distance. I think one of my favorite parts was after you're done with the 12 rooms, you go into the whole Lego area. It's like the kitchen in the show, and then there's no, not the kitchen. It was the cafe. It was the coffee shop, the infamous coffee shop. You guys know about it if you watch the show. That was all made out of Legos, which was insanely amazing to see. You could even take pictures there. Wow. It was really fun. So, if you just want to go hang out with your friends, enjoy it, take pictures. If you're obsessed with the show, you want to get the vibes, yeah, go ahead, do it. I 100% recommend. I would do it again. But I would do it at a different time where there aren't many groups, or if possible, not a lot of people, so I could actually get to see each room and, and even have the opportunity to read what each room has a description of, or like there's even games that they would have, like trivia games that you could play. You obviously don't have much time to play them because there's a lot of people behind you, so you kind of don't want to be rude and make people wait for you. So, I just would love to go back and experience it in a more slower pace and actually get to take it all in. And why I'm saying this is because there will be a Friends reunion that everyone is talking about, and let me talk about the details for that. So months after months of people, waiting for the news of the reunion, the dream has become a reality. The cast is set to gather for a special on HBO streaming service, HBO Max, and they will be honoring the iconic sitcom 25th anniversary. Obviously, there was a lot of delays because of COVID, but however, they made it work and they finished filming the reunion. I do want to specify that it is a reunion of the actors coming back together all at once. It's not a new episode of the show Friends. No, it's literally just them coming back together and talking about the show behind the scenes or what happened, or just gaining back memories from what I understood from my, reading. And, I am excited about the reunion. It's a very iconic show and it's very funny. As much as a lot of people don't find it comedy, a lot of people don't really enjoy it. And actually that's pretty funny. That's a funny story because I never thought that people don't find it funny. I mean, I get it. There's mixed opinions about everything, but the show has a lot of people that actually dislike it or they just don't find it funny. Thanks to social media, they let you know. They inform you a lot, but overall the show is iconic and there's a lot of people that actually love it. But anyways, and the show, on Instagram, actually, the account posted like a Friends reunion post, and they said, "That's a wrap. Could we be any more excited? Friends, the reunion is coming to HBO Max. # Friends reunion." And then the deadline would begin the week of April 5th in LA. There are no words on when it will be released, but I hope it'll be soon. So all the stars will be coming back: Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, Matthew Perry, and David Schwimmer. They will reunite at the original Friends soundstage, which is stage 24 at the Warner Bros. And, all 6 stars will be there together, and that alone is very exciting to wait for. And I can't wait to watch it. I honestly don't know what I'm anticipating, and I have no idea what will I be expecting. But I did read somewhere that they each will read a script like from their characters. So I mean, yay! At least we'll get to have those characters back for a few moments. But at the same time, having the actors gather together again after all these years, is pretty fun and it's pretty exciting to wait for, especially for the fans, and especially for those that have this huge attachment to the show. They will reunite, revisit the set, and there's obviously surprises that we are unaware of, but we will see it on the episode. HBO Max did explain it in a statement. They said, lastly, in order to avoid any misunderstanding about what this special is, we want to make it very clear that this is not a new original episode of the series. The cast will be appearing as themselves, not as their beloved characters. And like I mentioned before, I actually like this more. I think the way the show ended was the perfect closure that everyone needed, even though there are character developments that I would love for them to have had a better ending, but, you can't just come back 20 years later and just change the ending now. But I think it's perfect the way they left it. And, sometimes playing with a script too much can ruin the whole vibe of the show, or ruin the memories that came with the show. So there's a value to it being the way it left, the way they left the show to be. Anyways, so, I'm excited for the big news. I'm excited to watch the cast come back together. That alone is very special. And anyways, Jennifer Aniston even posted many, many flashbacks. She even posted a picture with Matt, and she said, "I'm shocked Maddie is the last to join Instagram, considering he was a computer processing transporter." So if you watch the show, you'd understand why she said that, but that inside joke was pretty cute. Anyways, that's all for Friends for now. I'm very ecstatic. I can't wait for the reunion to happen. I cannot wait for them to release a date to when this is going to happen, even though it's just the actors coming back together to regain those memories. And stay tuned, because in the next segment we will be talking about the Kardashians. There's a lot that's been happening with them. I feel like I talk a lot about them, but honestly, they're always on the news. They're always trending somehow. I feel like, what is that joke? The devil works hard, but Kris Jenner works harder. 100%. Guys, they're always trending somewhere, whether it was Instagram, Twitter. Their name is always in the spotlight. Great social media marketing. They have great teams, strong teams that always keep them, keep their names out there. So, great for them. And we will be talking about Macaulay Culkin and Brenda Song having a kid together and announcing it to the world.
Want to find out what movies to go see? Then check out the GSMC Movie Podcast. It's your ticket to the latest movies, whether it's a new blockbuster event, romantic, comedy, or action flick. This show has got it all covered. They talk some what to go see now. Don't bother. What's hot on Netflix and everything in between. That's gsmcpodcast.com/movie-podcast. When it's all about the movies, it has to be this new show. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit gsmcpodcast.com for more info.
Well, hello and welcome. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I am full of energy. That coffee was spot on, amazing. But I think my energy right now, I think I had way too many espresso shots at this point. Anyways, if you're interested, by the way, I had coffee. I got oat milk, and then I mixed it with honey and cinnamon, put some at the bottom of the cup, and then I poured the coffee on top of it, and then I put more foam, from the oat milk. I made the foam, and then I put it on top, and then I put more cinnamon and more honey. Don't put a lot of honey. I don't like my drinks to be very sugary and sweet, but I just wanted some kick of cinnamon in there and some honey. So it was honestly amazing, but I think I have way too much energy for 2 a.m. It's like almost 3 a.m. right now, and way too many espresso shots, but who's counting, right? Anyways, so guys, what did we talk about in their last segment? I don't know. What did we talk about? Just kidding. So we talked about the Friends reunion, and I am so excited. I feel like everyone will talk about it when it's finally out. Yes, everything dies out pretty fast on social media, but I'm going to give this episode, when this episode comes out on HBO, I think I will give it like a week for it to die out. I honestly don't think it's going to die out, but it's going to be trending for a while, maybe 3 days, but people will keep talking about it, especially hardcore fans. And all we talked about in the last segment is the fact that the characters will not be coming back, but the actors of the Friends show will be coming back, and they will be just bringing back memories about the show and coming back to the stage of the main stage the show was filmed at. And basically that is it. A lot of people have been waiting for this moment, so I think it's going to be historical, honestly. All the actors coming back together after all these years and talking about the show, and there might be hope for them to play the characters for a bit. So I mean, there's that. I'm pretty sure there's many more surprises we're going to be anticipating and waiting for. And yeah, that's all for Friends. And then we will be talking about the Kardashians in the next few segments. And today for this segment, we will be talking about Brenda Song and Macaulay Culkin announcing their news about having their first child together. And I honestly didn't even know that they were a thing, okay? When I saw the news, I was kind of like stoked, but shocked at the same time. My jaw just dropped. I was like, what? When did this even happen? Have I been living like under a rock? Because I feel like I've been living under a rock, because I had no idea they even dated, like, for real. Like, I didn't even know they were, and I love them both. I mean, Home Alone, Brenda Song was in Home Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. I mean, not love them, but I mean, I was a fan of them. I grew up with them as a child. So I feel like it should have been like something that I knew. I don't know why it just went past me that I had no idea about these two, let alone they had a kid together. So I got so intrigued, and I really wanted to find out their history and how it all, came together. I mean, it's always great to see Hollywood actors actually make it. Not a lot of them make it. So I went and I was like, okay, I need to know. I need to find everything about them, how they became a couple, all the tea. I need to know. So that's what I did for this segment, and I'm here for you. So on April 5th, 2021, the couple welcomed their first child together. The Home Alone star, expressed that he was overjoyed to become a dad for the first time apparently the couple have been trying for a few years, and they have finally become parents. So that's actually really sweet. I'm really happy for them. I'm sure all their fans as well, everyone that loves the couple, they are probably as well, they're happy as well for them. I think it's the fact that we grew up with these two actors, I think that makes it special as well. For me, it's special because I had no idea that they even were a thing, and I still feel bad about it, but it is what it is, and now I know, right? So let's talk about the timeline for these two special people. And I say that because, I don't know, it's just like, there are couples that, you just love and you root for them. And I personally, I am rooting for them. They are the type of couple that I feel like will last. And the fact that not many people were talking about them, or maybe they were and I was just not paying attention. I feel like when things sometimes are overhyped or talked about way too much, it's kind of, it doesn't always work out. Does that make sense? I don't know what I'm trying to say, but all I'm trying to say is sometimes a lot of couples, that show a type of, they show the happy relationship, the perfect relationship on social media or online. It's always the opposite for them behind the screen. And I feel like with these two, there's not much, there's news about them obviously because they're celebrities, and there's always been rumors, or people will talk about them because they are known and they're very popular. But at the same time, I don't think the couple themselves put their relationship out there to prove anything, if that makes sense. So maybe that's why their relationship's successful. I don't know. I mean, I'm just hoping that they do last, unlike a lot of different celebrities out there that do put, literally they put their full relationship online, and then 2 years later they don't even make it. Cough cough, J-Lo, which is also a whole conversation that we could talk about later because that makes me sad. And then let's just go back to our conversation right now. So the Home Alone actor and the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody star, they met in 2017. Yes. They met while co-starring in the film Changeland, and that was released in 2019. And the first romance rumor sparked while they were filming, and the film was in production, and that was in 2017. And the rumors came out when they went on a double date at Knott's Berry Farm in Buena Park, California. The two were spotted holding hands and being cute with each other. And then months later, they also were making headlines when they took a trip together to Paris with the Culkin's goddaughter, Paris Jackson. Oh my God, where have I been when all of this was happening? That's my question till this day. And yes, guys, the coffee was amazing, if anyone's wondering. But yes, where was I? It made headlines, and I'm literally, when I made research and I was reading all this, I'm just like, my jaw just drops, and I'm just shocked at the fact that I was under a rock over this whole relationship. But a lot of sources did say that the pair kept the relationship private over the last years. They have opened up about the fact that they love each other or they have feelings towards each other, but again, they kept their privacy to themselves, which is something that I really respect and something that I love about people who do that. You know, no one needs to know everything about you. So I think the fact that we only know bits of the relationship and the fact that they are together is enough. I don't need to know full details, but I mean, sometimes you do want to know details. But I mean, in their situation, maybe that's why I had no idea that they were a thing, because they kept it private, which is very smart. So a year later, after the relationship became public, Song did come out and say that the relationship is great. And then she also did say, I don't like to talk about my personal life, but everything's wonderful and I'm happy. Honestly, a conclusion to the relationship. That's just so smart to me, clever. People don't need to know more. I feel like when celebrities do put their full life out there, they get a lot of hate for it, and they could never hear the end of it, regardless of what it is. People will always find something to talk about. So sometimes when you just make a shortcut and you give the news what you want them to hear and end it there, I think that saves you a full headache, from fans or people that want to stalk you or want to know every single thing about your relationship. Or sometimes if it doesn't work out, you don't have to explain yourself, versus a lot of people or versus a lot of known influencers or celebrities that do unfortunately have to explain themselves because of the fact that they allowed or shared so much with their fans. Or so not short after, Culkin did mention the fact that he wants to make babies with Brenda. He said in one interview, I'm gonna make some babies. He also said, this one's a good one, so I'm probably going to put some babies in her in a little bit. I mean, we've definitely been practicing. So, I mean, you can tell he was 100% sure about her. He wanted her. He loved her, and he wanted to have babies with her, which that happened. So I'm so glad. He also said in one interview, I have a good life out here. I have a pretty little family, a pretty girl, a pretty dog, a pretty cat, and all that stuff. We're gonna move. We're doing this house thing and all that kind of stuff. I love how he's just like telling you what you need to know. That's it. Like, yes, we're happy and we're moving in together. That's all you need to know. Smart, again. And then 1 year later, the couple welcomed their first child, Dakota. Their first child, the couple's son, named after Culkin's late sister, arrived Monday, April 5th, weighing 6 pounds, 14 ounces. And, you know, the actor, like I said, he previously spoke about the fact that he wants to make a family with the former Disney Channel star Brenda Song. And like he said, he practiced a lot. Well, we practiced a lot, he said. He also said in one interview, we're figuring it out, making the timing work, because nothing turns you on more than when your lady comes into the room and says, honey, I'm ovulating. Okay, a little bit too much information right there. I know. It's funny how I said literally in 2 minutes ago that there's not much about the relationship that's online, but then in one interview, he gives you so much information and he goes into details about the relationship in 2 sentences that you don't need to know more. Like, I don't need to know more, you know? I'm sure that he's in love and he wants to start a family with her, which is cute. But yeah, I mean, it's just cute and I'm really happy for them and I hope they have the best family and, you know, enjoy their time together. Also, I do want to say something that in another interview, I think it was a podcast, I'm not sure, but he did say, with this one, I'm going to have some pretty babies. She's Asian, so I'm going to have tiny little Asian babies. It's going to be adorable. But honestly, you can tell that he was determined, head over heels for her and in love. And I am just so glad that now they have a son together and they're starting the family. They both, I'm sure, are very excited to grow up together with. But that was all for this segment. Stay tuned because at the end we will be talking about the Kardashians, Kim Kardashian's divorce, Khloe Kardashian's photo that was leaked, and more.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Hello and welcome back. I missed you guys. So I kind of don't have my coffee with me right now. It's 6 p.m. I know the timings, right? It's 6 p.m. by me right now. The recordings and all of that. But anyways, why I'm saying this is I'm still fasting and I still have 2 more hours to break my fast, but I'm so full of energy. That's so crazy. I know. I cannot wait to break my fast and drink water and drink some espresso shots. You guys know caffeine is not really great for you, but I can't live without my caffeine. But anyways, what did we talk about in our last segments? We spoke about Friends, the reunion. The HBO Max unscripted reunion special has finally been filmed after it was originally announced over a year ago, back in 2020, February, but because of COVID, there was a lot of difficulties. They couldn't, record the episode or the reunion because, like we said in our first segment, this is just the actors coming back together. It's not an episode of Friends. But that means that Jennifer Aniston, Lisa Kudrow, Courtney Cox, Matt LeBlanc, Matthew Perry, and David Schwimmer will be all back together on screen for the first time since the show wrapped in 2004. We are unsure when we'll be able to watch the episode. They have not released the date for it yet, but we are expecting something special. So I mean, that's very exciting if you're a fan of Friends. Also, I do want to mention that there was another Friends reunion back in 2016, but Matthew Perry did not participate. So this is going to be, special and something that everyone will talk about because of the fact that all 6 will be there. So I'm so excited and I'm so hyped for that. Then we spoke about Macaulay, Culkin, and Brenda song announcing to the public that they had their first child, and they named him Dakota. I'm so sorry. So that's really something that was very fun for me to talk about because of the fact that I was under a rock and I had no idea that they even were in a relationship, okay? But other than that, we will be talking about the Kardashians. Who else? For today's segment, we will be covering a lot about Khloe Kardashian and what's been going on with her for the past week or so. When I tell you there has been a lot surfacing all over the social media, yes, it's all Khloe, And honestly, it's not even a big deal, but I can understand why everyone was talking about it and why the fact that it was on Twitter. And for the first time, it was something positive too about her. I mean, not for the first time. Obviously, there has been a lot of moments where people love talking about her in a good manner. I just meant sometimes, mostly when celebrities are trending, it's usually either because they're canceled or influencers, either they're canceled or like entertainment stars or because of something problematic that happens. But this time it's not really that. So let's talk about what happened with Khloe. So not long ago, about a week ago or so, there was a photo of Khloe Kardashian surfacing the internet, and the photo was unfiltered, raw, and the picture showed Khloe's face and body. She was in a bikini by a pool without the heavy editing and the airbrushing that if you go to her profile, you'd notice that she uses a lot of airbrushing on her photos. And many of the Kardashians do as well. But Khloe is known to do it mostly and the heaviest on her photos. But many copies of the photo were taken down under legal threat from the Kardashians team. Even if people called it beautiful, even if you had something positive to say about it, but it was unauthorized by her team or by Khloe herself, so she wanted it to be taken down. No excuses. Nope. She literally tried her best. The photo was taken of Khloe during like a private family gathering, and it was posted on social media without permission by mistake by an assistant of Khloe's. And, I think she looks beautiful, and she has the right to publish what she wants on social media or post what she wants on social media. I can understand why she wants it down, especially that it's not what she usually puts on her Instagram. But she just did not. She did not. Okay, but I do want to mention during this whole time, while her team was doing everything to take the photo down, I was reading comments underneath her Instagram post or on Twitter, people tweeting and saying that, like, dude, like, you look absolutely stunning, gorgeous, you look beautiful. This is this is the reality of how all of us look like, not everyone wakes up to airbrushing or heavy editing or filters or presets that are already there for them. I kind of understand why Khloe is not comfortable in showing herself 100%. Why I've always kept up with the Kardashians, and I always would read how people would call her the ugly sister, or she's not a part of the Kardashians, or she's not their blood sister. So I can understand why the criticism that comes behind it. No, it's not okay to call someone that. That's not what I meant. I meant that all the criticism that has been gained upon her has led her to be unreal, or not comfortable enough to post who she is 100%, or really she just didn't want her photo to be up there because it doesn't really showcase who she is to her. To her, it's not who she is. So I kind of understand that, but she did not get any backlash from it. People actually praised her for it. Fans were praising her. Fans were telling her how beautiful she was. And not even fans, just regular people as well. I was just reading random comments, and people were just really there for her, complimenting her looks and appeal. Okay, and then a week ago, Khloe proceeded with posting a post on Instagram where she said, P.S. Yes, I did a live show to show you all. This isn't photoshopped, because everyone just talks about her photoshopped photos. And honestly, they are photoshopped, Khloe. I'm sorry, but they are heavily photoshopped. And the Kardashians are one of the reasons why a lot of girls are insecure about themselves. And I'm going to be very honest about that. They have created this stigma or they have created this image where where perfection is a must. Well, that was maybe unintentional, but people strive to be like them, or young girls want to be like them, when reality is not everyone has the resources that they have to be this perfect self that they are. So I do sympathize with her. I don't think anyone deserves to be hated on, but the Kardashians did create this whole perfection idea in people, they kind of rooted for it. So when a photo of her is leaked, or something that she doesn't like is out there and people actually like it, is because they kind of relate to it. And, being a billionaire isn't something that everyone is related to. But anyways, I do want to talk about the fact that Khloe did, let's talk about her Instagram post. Like I mentioned, she did post an Instagram post talking about the photo. And then she said, hey guys, this is me and my body unretouched and unfiltered. The photo that was posted this week is beautiful. But as someone who has struggled with body image her whole life, when someone takes a photo of you that isn't flattering, in bad lighting, or doesn't capture your body the way it is, after working so hard to get it to this point, and then shares it to the world, you should have every right to ask for it to not be shared, regardless of who you are. In truth, the pressure, constant ridicule, and judgment my entire life to be perfect, to meet others' standards of how I should look, has been too much to bear. Khloe is the fast sister. Khloe is the ugly sister. Her dad must not be real. Her dad must not be her real dad because she looks so different. The only way she could have lost the weight must have been from surgery. And then she said, should I go on? She got so much support from so many celebrities. Her sisters themselves, Kendall Jenner, posted, and she said, yes, you beautiful, strong, healthy queen. Kylie said, love you so much. Kim even said, I love you, Khloe. And so many more have supported what she's been going through and why she posted what she did, and why she felt a type of way about her photo that did not capture her in the most flattering way, according to Khloe. Which, honestly, it is her right. It's her body. She could do whatever she wants. If she wants a photo of her to be public, then that's on her. If she wants to be private, then she should have to say to not want it out there. But I honestly think it's beautiful, but we are our own. We criticize ourselves harder than anyone next to us. We see our flaws differently than others. So I kind of understand where she's coming from. There's also news that she is looking into surgery or doing more, I guess. She's looking into surgery, so she is similar to her edited pictures. Because obviously if you go see her pictures, they're very, very heavily filtered, and her pictures are enhanced. They don't look the way that her raw picture that was leaked or that was out there looked. And she should embrace herself, her true self, and allow her, and I think people should allow her to step forward and make her comfortable in being who she is. There is a source that came out and said that Khloe really wants to look like she does when she's heavily filtered, and she even called an emergency meeting with her surgeon to look at any treatments that will enhance her appearance. That's what a source said. So, I mean, you could tell that the trolls really had an impact on her and her insecurities, regardless if she wants to look fake or not, or too much surgery or whatever. It's really, she got the money to do it all. But the thing is, to me, it's like you kind of endorsed that idea to the public that you need to be perfect. So I do sympathize with her, and I do understand her situation. Obviously, I'm not in her position to speak at all because I'm not a celebrity. But at the same time, I do hope she does find her inner peace, or people do kind of back off and give her some time to breathe, stop criticizing her. And she is, at the end of the day, she is human, and her insecurities are big to her, just like how our insecurities are big to us. So everyone struggles differently. That's how I see it. And I just hope that she gets to see that she is beautiful regardless of filter or unfiltered. So yeah, that was really it about Khloe. Do you think it was worth it for her to bring her team and threaten people to take her picture down? Because at the end of the day, that picture is still out there regardless. What goes on the internet stays there forever. So that's still the downside about it. Even though I still think the photo is absolutely stunning, but kind of understand her situation. But do you think it was worth it? Do you think you would do the same if you were in her situation? Let me know. In the meantime, stay tuned, because our last segment, we will talk about the other favorite Kardashian sister, Kim herself.
For bookworms of all ages and the widest genres, from mystery to memoirs, romance to comedy, fantasy to sci-fi. If you love to read, this is the podcast for you. It's the Golden State Media Concepts Book Review Podcast.
Hello guys, and welcome back. I missed you. How is everyone doing? So let's have a little recap about what we talked about in our previous segments before we finish our episode and before we talk about our last segment. So we talked about Friends, the reunion special. We cannot wait. It has finally been filmed, and even though it was originally announced like a year ago, back in February, but rest assured, we will have the episode hopefully soon. They haven't announced when we will be seeing it on HBO Max, but at least we know that they filmed the episode. It's a reunion unscripted episode special where Jennifer Aniston, Lisa Kudrow, Courtney Cox, Matt LeBlanc, Matthew Perry, and David Schwimmer will be all back together on screen for the first time since the show wrapped in 2004. So we kind of talked about that, about my experience in Chicago when I went to the Friends exhibit. So it's all been good, you know, having fun there. It was really fun. And so I just talked about that for a bit, and then we talked about Macaulay Culkin and Brenda Song welcoming their first son, Dakota, on April 5th. And then we also talked about the fact that I was under a rock about this whole relationship. Apparently I'm not the only one, okay? I was on Twitter last night looking at all the news for them, and a lot of people were shocked that they were even a thing, okay? So that made me feel better about myself. You know, I kind of felt like, okay, well, I'm not the only person out there that didn't know about the relationship. So that's great. I hope they have an amazing time, this new chapter in their life. They seem like an amazing couple. They are very cute together. They look like they're compatible. I don't know. Who knows behind the scenes what happens? But, I mean, they seem like they have their relationship kind of like really private, which hence why a lot of people didn't know about them. So that's great. I hope them nothing but the best. Congrats to them. And then we also spoke about Khloe Kardashian. Yes. So there's a lot that's been going on with Khloe Kardashian and the photo that was leaked earlier for her by one of her assistants, who a lot of people are saying it was MJ, which is like her grandma. So that's kind of like funny, because I feel like maybe her grandma did it because she found it very spontaneous and cute, and she just wanted to capture a moment of her granddaughter. But obviously Khloe did not like that. And we also talked about how Khloe and her team scrambled to get the photo off the internet, threatening legal actions against like pretty much any social media user who would repost the picture on Twitter, Instagram, or other social media platforms. So, and we also spoke about the fact that she did post on Instagram talking about the photo, and captioned how she went through a lot of hardships and how she has the right to deal with her photos the way she wants to, which is valid, guys, okay? All right, guys. So, I do want to start off with talking about Kim Kardashian and Kanye West officially filing for divorce. They both have agreed to joint custody of their kids after divorcing over their different visions for how to raise the kids. Back in February, Kim Kardashian finally made her divorce from Kanye West official after months of speculations about the state of their relationship. A lot of reports have been waiting for months that Kim was done. They've been reporting like that Kim has been done with the relationship. They've been married for 7 years, and the announcement just came, and honestly, it was very apparent. If you were following Kanye West a few months ago, so if you remember his tweets, or I don't even know if you remember or you followed him, but he tweeted a lot of heavy tweets, things that honestly were very, very, very shocking. It was out of control. You could tell he wasn't thinking, tweeting about them. And I think that was the last straw for Kim. That's what a lot of reports been saying about it, especially when he called her a white supremacist. That was when she began, thinking about divorce. I have not been keeping up with the Kardashians, so I'm not sure if this is all on the new episodes of the last season. But through research, this is what's been going on. His tweets, they're raging even though they were deleted, so you were not going to find them right now, but they're all online. You could all read them up online. He tweeted a lot of different tweets regarding Kim herself. Even though the couple seemed like they are very strong, they kept it together, their pictures together. But when he launched his president campaign, I think he just was all over the place. He needed a publicist for sure, or I don't know where she was, but you could tell there was something concerning him, and maybe Kim couldn't control him or couldn't really handle it well, and probably got really frustrated over his Twitter outbursts and probably wanted to separate herself from the media from that aspect. I do want to mention that Kanye did tweet and apologize to Kim publicly. He said, "I would like to apologize to my wife Kim for going public with something that was a private matter. I did not cover her like she has covered me." And then he said to Kim, "I want to say, I hurt you. Please forgive me. Thank you for always being there for me." So this has all been going on for in 2020, and it's been I think it's been going on for quite a while, but now I believe Kim decided to take a stance and just end the marriage. We don't know details of why really it's been happening, but maybe his tweets were a part of it as well. A source said that the divorce is happening because Kim has grown up a lot. She is serious about taking the bar exam and becoming a lawyer. She is serious about her prison reform campaign. Meanwhile, Kanye is talking about running for president and saying other crazy beep, and she's I said beep, and she's just had enough of it. And that is when she filed for divorce on February 19th for irreconcilable differences as the reason for the split. Source also mentioned that both of them have a different vision of the world and how their kids should be raised, and what they want in life, and and for their kids doesn't always match. So I guess they have different goals. I mean, things change. And that's something that Kim hinted back in 2019 when she revealed that Kanye found a new religious stance and he became a more strict parent, and he had stricter parenting approaches and big changes in their household, some of which she did not really exactly agree with. So I guess it's like I said, everything takes time, and this has been taking time for them both. Kim said in one interview, she said North is trying to get in on the makeup, but she's being blocked heavily because her dad has stopped all makeup for her until she's a teenager. It's turned into a big fight in the household right now. So you could tell, I mean, I feel like by every relationship you would see it. She's talked about the fact that she said he's my husband, so I obviously want to honor what he's feeling, but he's going through this life change and it's mostly about the kids. And maybe when it comes down to the kids, they are not agreeing on what they both want. She even went on saying the kids are getting older. He's very cautious about what we have in the house, what we get rid of the TVs she also said we got rid of the TVs in the kids' rooms and removed makeup from North's room. She also said he's been had this epiphany of being a little bit more strict as a dad and being very forceful on the imagery that's in our household and what they see. So I mean, I get it. And she also said, I'm always gonna be me, and so we had discussions and fights. He's gonna do things that I don't agree with, but there's also that fine line of staying firm and doing what you feel comfortable with. So, I mean, I'm glad they at least compromised and came to a middle ground about their kids, because, I mean, you have to sometimes, you both have to agree to disagree. You know, agree to disagree. What I meant is, even if you both disagree on things, you kind of have to agree to come to the middle for the kids. You have to give up a little on things you agree with or you stand for the other partner or for the other side to be pleased with, or the other way around, so the kids could not be stuck in the middle as well. And it seems that Kim and Kanye did manage to put their differences aside with the divorce proceeding. The pair agreed on custody of North, Saint, Chicago, and Psalm. And she also requested joint legal and physical custody of their kids. Kim requested the same. Kim and Kanye requested the same thing, which means that the pair will likely now work out an arrangement for sharing their kids. So, I mean, that's good. I mean, at least the kids won't be... I hope the kids just don't get stuck in the middle of this or the whole drama. And the fact that they both came to a middle ground and an agreement that they both will be together for the kids is on its own pretty cool. Not pretty cool, it's pretty good. And then they also cited that they both will pay for their own legal fees and there will be no need for spousal support. Guys, these people are billionaires, so no need for spousal support. Kim Kardashian did also become a billionaire. The news has been hit last week, I believe so. Forbes did post about it, so we will talk about that for a bit. Because, I mean, honestly, wow, good for her. I feel like she is more self-made versus Kylie, you know. Forbes talked about Kim Kardashian finally being a billionaire using direct-to-consumer social media marketing for her makeup company. 2018, when she expanded her cosmetic line to eyeshadow, concealer, lipstick, and fragrance, it brought her $100 million in revenue alone. And she also did sell 20% of KKKW Beauty to a cosmetic line, and then that gave her around $200 million alone. Dang, that's a lot of money, okay? And then she has Skims, the shapewear line Kim Kardashian launched in 2019. That brought her about, God knows, millions of dollars. But she has over 70 million followers, guys, on social media, on Twitter. And then she has over 200 million followers on Instagram. So Skims did not take long for it to be quick on its feet. So during the pandemic, the consumers were more interested in her comfy clothing, and that brought her up. The shapewear company is worth $500 million. So obviously with different stakes and different revenues, it all adds up, and enough to lift her fortune to $1 billion. So this is why, guys, she doesn't need any spousal support, nor does he. So I'm very happy for her. Honestly, she is very hardworking. I watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and I see the way she actually works very hard for what she earns, and why I would call her more self-made. But that was all for today's episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for listening to the GSMC Entertainment Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I would like to ask that you please remember to subscribe to the show and write a very nice review, because that would really help us. Also, if you can please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you, and see you next week.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast. part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. From movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.